So, of course, today we have got our wonderful Flashback Friday. Now, this week's Flashback Friday, I'm going to admit something. I mean, it's nothing that's like a secret or anything, but boy, oh boy, does it bring me back. Brings me back to my high school days. Now, if any of my buddies from high school ever saw this episode, they'd be like, holy flip. As if. Today on Flashback Friday. Okay. We're going to discuss some cards. However, we're getting into something just a bit different. They are hockey, and they are cards. However, they are in fact playing cards. Now, there's a lot of people that I've spoken to over the years that never knew that there were NHL playing cards. Who would think so? Really? Really? They make playing cards of almost anything, from Betty Boop to wine glasses. That's the first thing that came to my head. But I have seen so many different types of playing cards. Why would you not think they wouldn't have any for hockey? Of course they do. And as I mentioned in a previous episode, when I was pretty much gathering as much stuff as I could, not only for my own collection, but for the HCDB Online project, well, of course, I had to add these in. Of course, I never got to the point where I actually had to scan them and add them, and therefore, a lot of these are still sealed. So, as I mentioned before, this brings me back to my high school days because my friend that was just as big as a hockey fan as anyone that I ever know today had purchased the NHL Aces playing cards from Bicycle, right? The company that makes the playing cards. Now, a lot of these, of course, like I said, they're not opened, but you get an idea, right? You get an idea. This is from the 1995-1996 season. So I only have one card sitting here. It says Hockey Aces on the back, and it gives you kind of an idea of how it looks like. However, when you probably can't see these little examples that they put on there, but almost every year they look pretty damn close to the same design. So I have 95-96, the 96-97, and if I was able to show you, without getting too much of a glare, it's kind of difficult to. The designs are almost identical every year. And then 97-98. And then I have a bunch of other ones here that I will show you momentarily. So why does it bring me back? Because, of course, we would play euchre. We'd play euchre during our lunch breaks. If we ever had spares, when you're in high school, you had that one section during the day where you didn't have any classes. Well, sometimes we were lucky and some of us all had the same spare. So, of course, we'd whip out the good old NHL playing cards and we'd play euchre. These ones here, I'm not entirely sure what year these ones are, because all it says in the back is the Eastern and Western Conference, and I'll just give you an example as to what they look like. These ones are actually pretty cool, because unlike these ones, they have the white border. These ones were like a full bleed photo. Look at that. How cool is that? And it's a playing card, right? You sit there and play cards and admire the players while you're playing. So that's pretty awesome. But along the way of collecting and gathering stuff for my project, I came across playing cards that I, of course, didn't know existed, right? For instance, I have, this one's actually opened. I opened it because I wanted to take a peek. But this one here is the Heritage Jersey playing card. So this is the Atlantic Division. So it just says Heritage Jersey Collection on it. So as you can imagine, I'm trying to get you guys to see it a little bit here. It's a little, I know my light's a little bright, but yeah, as you can imagine, it's just the different jerseys, like heritage and all that stuff that are on the cards. So it's there's no players, of course. It's just the jerseys. So I have this one here, and then we go to Southeast Division, have the same thing. It's almost pretty much identical packaging, just that they changed out the jerseys and the teams that are in the pack. I got the Pacific Division. All these are still sealed. The Central Division. And Northwest Division. And the Northeast Division. So, still have that cool NHL hologram on it. And these are all still unopened, you know. I don't know if I'll ever open them. I don't think I really have a need to, really. But then I came across this one. This is the Heritage, just as Heritage Collection playing cards. And that's what it looks like there. And by looking at, judging by the front, by what they're showing me, it just shows like pictures of the old arenas and the old classic. Looks like the original 6 jerseys. That's what it looks like to me. If I can show you a bit of the back here, you kind of sort of see it a little bit. So you kind of get an idea. But no players as far as I can tell. And last, but certainly not least, wipe it off, it's a little dusty. These have been put away for quite a while. Is the great one, Wayne Gretzky playing cards. So, pretty neat. It's hard to see the examples in the back. I'm trying to show it without a glare a little bit, but you can kind of get an idea. So I assume, if I was to assume, without reading, I guess I'm going to read it. It's a little paragraph here. Celebrate the career of the great one, Wayne Gretzky, with this unique set of playing cards featuring photos from the Hockey Hall of Fame collection. So, I was gonna say something like that. Like it's probably highlighting his career, right? As you go through the cards. So it's mostly just these. It's mostly just these that when I see these, it's like it brings me back to high school. Oh my gosh, and we all have those awesome, well, maybe not all awesome, but we all have those memories of high school, right? And it's like now, once you're an adult, it's like, man, I wish I could go back to those days. They were so easy. Jeez. So as you can imagine, yeah, totally brings me back